You ever notice how some people look like they're winning at life, but they're exhausted, stressed, and secretly one bad month away from panic? And then there are other people. They don't post much, they don't flex, they don't seem ahead. But year after year, their life gets calmer, stronger, freer. That difference is what this video is about. Because most people are not broke from one big mistake. They're drained by 100 small habits that feel normal. A little upgrade here, a little impulse there, a lifestyle built to be seen instead of a life built to be stable. And the scary part is, society rewards the appearance of progress way faster than the reality of it. People clap for the car. They notice the apartment. They notice the vacation photos. They notice the clothes, the dinners, the upgrades. What they don't notice is the credit card balance. They don't notice the anxiety.
They don't notice the fact that some people look successful but can't breathe financially. And they definitely don't notice the person who quietly said no, the one who kept the old phone, the one who stayed in the cheaper place a little longer, the one who skipped the status game, the one who invested before they impressed. That person doesn't get attention in the beginning, but they get something better later. They get options. And options are the real flex. Let's be honest, a lot of us were taught to chase symbols before substance. We were taught to make our life look good before making it strong. So the moment money improves, we feel pressure to upgrade something. A raise comes in, and suddenly the standard changes. Now the old apartment feels too small. Now the old car feels embarrassing. Now the regular lifestyle feels beneath us. Why? Because income went up.
But so did the need to prove something. That's how people stay trapped while believing they're progressing. They earn more, but somehow feel just as fragile. They move forward on paper, but not in peace. They level up the outside and neglect the foundation. And most of the time, nobody questions it because everybody around them is playing the same game. That's why the trap is so powerful. When everyone is overextending, overconsuming starts to look normal. When everyone is performing, restraint looks like failure. When everyone is loud, discipline looks invisible. But invisible is not the same as ineffective. In fact, a lot of the best decisions you'll ever make will look unimpressive while you're making them. Saying no to things you can technically afford? Unimpressive. Building an emergency fund instead of buying a luxury item? Unimpressive. Living below your means when nobody around you does? Very unimpressive. But that's the whole point.
A strong future often looks boring in real time. Nobody throws a party for the month you didn't overspend. Nobody congratulates you for ignoring trends. Nobody admires the quiet discipline of choosing long-term peace over short-term applause. But years later, the results speak in a language everybody understands. Less panic, more freedom. Less dependence, more control. You don't have to be rich to feel the difference. You just have to stop bleeding energy and money trying to maintain an image. That image is expensive, and I'm not only talking financially. Trying to look like you're doing well can cost you mentally too. It can make you live in comparison mode 24/7. It can make every win feel temporary because now you have to maintain the performance. It can turn your whole life into a stage where you never get to rest. That's exhausting. And eventually, some people wake up and realize they built a lifestyle they have to keep feeding, even though it never made them feel secure in the first place. That realization hurts, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You start noticing how many purchases weren't really about need. They were about identity, about belonging, about not wanting to feel behind. You realize some of your hardest financial battles had nothing to do with math and everything to do with emotion. And that's a powerful moment, because once the problem becomes visible, the solution becomes possible. The solution is not to disappear into misery. It's not to never enjoy money. It's not to become extreme and punish yourself. The solution is to stop confusing visibility with value. Just because people can see it doesn't mean it matters. And just because no one notices it doesn't mean it isn't changing your life.
A savings account is not glamorous. A paid-off debt screenshot usually gets less attention than a restaurant bill. Turning down a flashy lifestyle won't get applause. But these things do something the performance never could. They buy you breathing room. And breathing room changes everything. Breathing room means a surprise expense doesn't become a crisis. Breathing room means a bad boss doesn't control your whole life. Breathing room means you can make decisions based on values instead of desperation. Breathing room means you're no longer living one emergency away from chaos. That is real progress. Not the kind that gets likes, the kind that lets you sleep. A lot of people spend years chasing the image of freedom while avoiding the habits that actually create it. Because real freedom is quiet at first. It starts in choices that feel small. Cooking instead of ordering. Saving before spending. Investing before upgrading.
Keeping your lifestyle steady when your income rises. Letting your ego be uncomfortable for a while so your future can be comfortable for a long time. That last part is hard because ego hates simplicity. Ego hates being underestimated. Ego hates being the only person in the group who isn't showing off progress. But if you can survive being misunderstood, you can build something powerful. That's one of the biggest lessons nobody tells you. Sometimes your life starts improving the moment it stops looking impressive to the wrong people. You don't need everyone to understand your strategy. You don't need validation for every sacrifice. You don't need a witness for every smart decision. Some of the most life-changing moves happen in private. No announcement, no applause, no dramatic soundtrack. Just a quiet choice repeated long enough to become a different life. And that's what people miss. They think freedom comes from one big breakthrough.
One huge paycheck, one lucky opportunity, one viral moment. Sometimes it does. But more often, freedom is built through repetition. Repeated restraint, repeated patience, repeated refusal to trade tomorrow for a momentary feeling today. That may sound simple, but simple is not easy. Simple gets lonely. Because there will be seasons where it feels like everyone else is moving faster than you. They're upgrading faster. They're celebrating more. They seem more established, more admired, more there. Meanwhile, you might feel invisible. You might even question yourself. You might wonder if you're being too cautious, too disciplined, too patient. But here's what people rarely show. A lot of fast-looking progress is financially rented. It's borrowed, it's leveraged, it's fragile, and fragility hides well in good lighting. That's why comparison is dangerous. You are often comparing your reality to someone else's highlight reel, and then making financial decisions based on the pressure that creates.
That pressure can cost you years. So maybe the real shift is this. Stop asking, how do I look compared to them? Start asking, how stable am I when nobody is looking? That question changes everything. Because the goal is not to win the performance. The goal is to win your life back. To create a life where money is a tool, not a source of constant stress. A life where your identity is not tied to consumption. A life where you can walk away from what drains you because you built margin. A life where peace matters more than proof. That kind of life won't always look exciting from the outside, but from the inside, it feels incredible. It feels like not panicking over every expense. It feels like not needing to impress people who aren't paying your bills. It feels like being able to choose slower, smarter, and calmer. It feels like finally understanding that wealth is not always loud. Sometimes wealth looks like a person who no longer needs to pretend. And maybe that's the message more people need to hear. You do not have to perform struggle, and you do not have to perform success either. You can step out of both. You can stop buying things just to keep a story alive.
You can stop making decisions just to avoid looking behind. You can stop running in a race that was designed to keep you tired. Because the moment you stop performing for the crowd, you start building for yourself. And that is when the real shift begins.
If you learned something from this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content like this. Thanks for watching.